Me, Eddie, Martin and Jaden quickly made our way to the facility. Making sure to be quiet, I avoided the leaves that littered the forest floor. We were a couple of feet away from the main entrance now, hiding behind a couple of trees, when we decided to put our plan into action. I quickly walked up to the guards and acted confused and hurt. They immediately pulled their guns out from their holsters and pointed them at me. "Hey, I'm lost. Do you guys know where the local hotel is?" I asked nervously. The guards looked confused, and one of them spoke up. "State your name and identification," the first guard demanded. I'm lost. I'm a local hiker and I need to get back to civilization," I said. "You're pretty far from civilization. Let me just check if you're not on the list," he said, annoyed. I stood there nervously as they searched through a list and photos. I was wearing different clothing, and my hair was hidden with a hat I put on right before talking to them. The guards kept glancing at me in one picture, and I knew Eddie and Martin had to act fast. I suddenly watched as Eddie and Martin came from behind and injected the guards in their necks with some liquid. "What did you just do to them?" I asked. "Just some tranquilizers. Should keep them knocked out for at least a couple of hours," Martin said. I watched as Eddie and Martin quickly stole the guards' uniforms and took out some handcuffs. "Wait, what if we get separated?" Jaden protested as Eddie placed the cuffs on his wrists. "You will have the keys for your own cuffs," Eddie said, and handed Jaden and I keys to our handcuffs. We walked inside with little to no difficulty. As we continued through the corridors, not many people questioned us as we quickly made our way to the director's office. As we reached the director's office, Eddie handed one of the guards a key card, and they grunted in approval. We walked inside, and the door slammed shut. "Why are you all here?" a familiar voice said. "We have found 2 people trying to sneak in," Martin went to say, but was cut off. "We are not stupid, Martin," someone else said from the corner of the room. I watched in shock as Inspector Harrison walked out of the shadows and stood next to Rebecca. "You knew?" Eddie asked, somewhat shocked but mostly annoyed. "It was pretty obvious, and we saw the whole scenario play out on the cameras. You never were great at plans, were you, Eddie? You just brought yourself to us, and now we can finish you off along with... Wait, where's that kid's pesky friends?" Harrison ranted. I stayed silent, despite his cold eyes demanding an answer. During this brief moment, Jaden took out his gun and went to shoot Rebecca, but was stopped by Inspector Harrison taking out his gun and pointing it at Martin. "You really are an annoying bunch. I'm surprised you managed to even sneak in," Rebecca said and stood up, revealing 2 pistols that were aimed at Eddie the entire time. I quickly took out Bryson's Desert Eagle while everyone was distracted and shot Inspector Harrison in his chest. Harrison went to shoot but missed, and Rebecca managed to pull off a single shot before Jaden shot her in the side. We thought we were okay, but we heard a third thump as Eddie fell to the ground, wheezing. "Shit, are there any medical supplies here?" Martin asked frantically. I looked around, but there didn't seem to be anything useful. I was suddenly grabbed by my leg, and I looked down to see Harrison, angrily glaring at me. "If I'm not making it out alive, neither are you, kid," he loudly whispered, and aimed his gun directly at my head. I closed my eyes and waited for it all to end, when 2 shots rang out. I opened my eyes to see Jaden shooting Inspector Harrison repeatedly until he stopped breathing. "Thanks," I said. Jaden didn't respond and quickly ran to help out Eddie. I rushed over to see a large pool of blood under Eddie, and I saw the life in his eyes flickering. "Eddie," Martin mumbled. "Hey, kid. Look," Eddie said, taking long breaths in between words. I know that I put you through a lot," he said, coughing out blood. Don't worry," he loudly whispered as he took a piece of paper out of his pocket and handed it to me with his shaking white hands. "I kept my," he said, now barely audible. "Promise," he said, and took one last breath before closing his eyes. "He's not breathing! He's not breathing!" Martin said frantically. I quickly barricaded the door after someone had knocked, followed by banging. "What do we do?" I asked. Martin and Jaden looked at me and then to the door. We quickly made a plan and hoped it would work. The guards broke the door to see this scene in front of them. I stood over the 3 dead bodies, and Martin and Jaden pretended to be hurt in the corner of the room. They quickly detained me as Martin got to his feet and said he would take me to a cell. Jaden also got up and went with Martin to make sure the prisoner didn't escape. The guards didn't object, as they had to call more guards to the scene to deal with the crisis. We quickly made our way to the reception area. We had to abort our first plan because Eddie was now killed in action, and our only hope was to contact the government through the reception area. We quickly got to the reception, and we encountered a problem. None of us knew the government's call number. I frantically read through the paper Eddie had given me for any info that could help, when on the back of the page I saw a code, 1787. I called that number on one of the government's computers, and Martin sent them the following message. Facility 14 has been overrun. We have killed the leaders of the rebellion, but we need more assistance to retake control. As you know, Facility 14 has been offline for the past X amount of days, and has been unresponsive due to such rebellion. Martin sent the message, and a couple seconds later, we were swarmed by guards. "Damn it! They realised it was a trick!" Martin yelled to the rest of us, as we were separated. I thought this was the end for us, but then, to everyone's shock, Rebecca walked towards us, holding her side, which was now bandaged. "You really think you 3 can escape this place alive after what you did? We will sacrifice you to the Pilgrim, and he will praise us," she ranted. "Wait, what?" Jaden asked, shocked. "We killed the Pilgrim. It's dead," he continued. "You cannot simply kill a god," Rebecca stated. "Why are you even worshipping the Pilgrim? He will kill all of you," I said frantically. "Don't lie. He only kills those who do not worship him," she said, now annoyed. "Wait, you're telling me the whole reason the facility had a rebellion is because some of you worshipped some supposed god that we were sent to kill? You're all crazy," Martin yelled. "It doesn't even matter anymore. We killed it," I said, reinforcing what Jaden said. "You fools," Rebecca started. "You cannot kill the Pilgrim. He will remanifest in those who have killed him, and he will rise from the ashes to rule this world," she said. "She's unhinged," Jaden whispered to me, and pointed towards my gun with his free hand. While the guard holding me was busy staring at Rebecca, I grabbed my gun and pointed it towards her. "I don't care about your stupid cult. I don't care about whatever god you worship, and I certainly don't care about whatever prophecy you made up," I said loudly, and pulled the trigger at Rebecca. I looked in shock to see a guard had dived into the way and taken the bullet for her. I quickly went to pull off another shot when the wall next to Rebecca was smashed forward. The dust clouded my vision, and I shot off another bullet in her direction, hoping to hit her. As the dust cleared, I looked in horror to see Darius standing in front of Rebecca, with a single gunshot in his chest. "Darius?" I asked, shocked. He didn't respond, and I looked closer to see that he didn't have pupils. "What the f—" Martin went to say, but Darius slammed his fist into him, sending him and the guard restraining him to the nearby wall. All the guards started running, but Rebecca just stood there calmly, smiling at me. I quickly grabbed Jaden and started running away from the scene. "What about Martin?" Jaden screamed at me. I didn't respond and kept running, dragging him with me. We made it to the medical bay and I barricaded the doors. "Was that Darius?" Jaden asked. "I don't know," I said. "But he looked almost exactly the same," he went to say, but I cut him off. "I don't know, okay? I can't do this right now, Jaden. I need to think," I said, and went to the computer and started typing this out. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's happening. I can't think with so many questions zooming through my mind. If anyone knows anything that can help, I really need it. Please. I'll try to keep in touch. I promise.